Okay. Mm-hmm. I feel good. I feel good. I feel blessed. I feel good. I feel blessed. All right, we've gone through episode 1, 2, and 3. This is episode 4. I'm going to give y'all the philosophy regarding active and the reserves. Two components within the military branch that you can serve in the capacity of active or reserves. So I'm active. And what does that mean? It means 24/7 all day, every day. I'm a Marine. Now, although the mentality of a Marine is to be Marine 24/7, no matter where you are, every climbing place, once a Marine, always a Marine. This means that I put on the uniform every day. Now, as a reservist, it's a little bit different. And I think that's the part of this episode that I'll dig into a little bit deeper, more deeper than the active component. I'll just say active. You're taken away from your respective environment. So I'm from here, I'm from Vancouver, Portland area. Grew up in both sides of the river. When I decided to enlist, I knew in my mind that it meant that I was leaving the confines of this area for at least 4 years. And it's been quite some time, but I came back after a decade of being away. I was in SoCal for a better part of a decade. Before that, I was in Okinawa, Japan. Before that, I was in North Carolina. So I knew I was going to leave. So that's the active side. It means you're going to leave. You're going to get some travel and adventure in your life. As far as the reserve goes, now, if you want to serve, you got that feeling in your heart that just keeps on, poking at you, and you want to serve. You don't want to leave. That's when the reserves come in. Now, the active component, there's a roughly 185,000 Marines, that male, female, that are actively serving at all times. When it comes to reserves, I want to say the number is roughly 30,000 throughout the globe. We have a reserve component stationed in every climbing place. Every state usually has one. Now, people would say, well, why can't I just do the National Guard? I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to bump you on that. I'm just saying the National Guard is more or less the individuals who would serve just for that respective state. As a Marine, when you get activated, you could leave that state. You know what I mean? Like you might go somewhere else. In fact, when it comes to annual training, which is something that happens 2 weeks during the summer, you might go to a different country to do some training. So that's something that's pretty cool about being in reserves with the Marines, is that, yes, if you want to stay in the area, like let's say you are from the Dalles, you're from Dalles, Oregon, Stevenson, LeGrand, Hermiston, Pendleton, Melt Freewater, you from Gresham, you from Beaverton. I'm just naming off a whole bunch of places, you know what I mean? Medford, even if you're from Alaska, you're from Anchorage. If you want to stay in your area and serve, you can do it. But let's just say you want to get a little bit of travel and adventure. You want to have a story to tell the next time you go back to your school. When I'm talking school, I'm talking your college. During the summer, in your respective area, you're going to go somewhere that is completely different from the environment that you're in. Me, having been with an artillery unit, I've seen them go from a different part of California to part of Alaska to Lithuania. In some places, they end up back in Okinawa. They end up in Thailand. They end up in Australia. There's a bunch of places that you can end up at during your annual training. So going just a little bit deeper into that, I did serve with a unit that was a reserve unit as a permanent personnel, I inspector, instructor. My job was to train the different individuals that were residing within the unit. What does that mean? Well, you're not serving, again, you're not, as a reservist, you're not serving the whole time. You might have your job. You might be a police officer in your respective community, but over the weekend for 2 days out of the month, you're going to be a Marine. You put on that uniform. You get that shave. You get that haircut. You do Marine things. And then after that weekend's done, you go right back to being a police officer. That's what I got to see. And the brilliance of the basics is, like, you see these cats who start figuring out who they are as a leader within the Marine Corps. Because you do the same exact thing as an active duty member in the Marine Corps becoming a Marine. So you're still going to go to boot camp. You're still going to go to Marine Corps combat training. You're still going to go to your job school. And then you come back to your community. There's a significant change that happens within you. And then you carry that change throughout your community. People see you a little bit different. And now, just to reaffirm the different things that you have learned over that time, when you go back to the Marine Corps side of the house for those 2 days out of the month, you can re-engage, you can feel that desire that you had that got you in the first place. You're going to have ups and downs, but a lot of people stay into the reserves. I see a lot of older cats in the reserves. Now, one thing that I want to speak on is there's different things out there that you could do while you're in the reserves and you want to transition to something else. I see a lot of police officers using this bit right here. And what I mean is, you need to get experience for some of the jobs that you want. You want to have leadership experience. You want to have some sort of independent experience. A lot of these different jobs out there are looking for individuals who don't just have the diploma, but have the wherewithal. They have the thing that makes them more valuable than your typical college student, which is the experience. A lot of cats got degrees, but not a lot of experience. That's what the reserves can do for a lot of individuals out there. And I think people aren't necessarily looking into that. Like, you got these cats who are in college, and it just dawned on me, like, if you're going to go to college, is that all you're doing? Like, is that, because that's what everybody else is doing. Is that all you're doing? It's just going to college? Everybody else is doing that. Why not get some leadership experience under your belt? And I think that's what the Marine Corps Reserves can do for a lot of individuals. It allows you an opportunity to get some leadership traits and develop yourself as a character who has the capabilities to be in front of individuals and engage them in a way that people can look at you for guidance. That's not something that's taught, I think, in a classroom. That's something that has to be practiced. And seeing the individuals that I've worked with at that artillery unit, who mind you, reserves, I got to see how those individuals developed over time and took what they knew in the Marine Corps back to their jobs, and I just saw them becoming more valuable to the organization, and that was pretty awesome. So for those of you who are going to college and you want to stay in your area, but you want to serve and you want to put yourself in a better position than you would be otherwise, because all you're going to have is a diploma, go look into the reserves. And not, every component of the military, every military branch has their respective reserves. But again, you don't necessarily join the Marine Corps for a specific job. You join because hands down, and everybody knows it, the Marine Corps has leadership. So that's like the philosophy behind the reserves. There's more to it, but this is a podcast, so I can say whatever I want as long as it's true. It sounds legit. I've been gone for a minute. I've been gone for a hot minute from the office because I had a baby. Little Demi River Rose. Yeah, buddy. Demi River Rose. This little 7-pound thing. She's like 7, 8, almost 9 pounds now. But she's only been like 2 weeks. Oh, I'll put a picture up. But yeah, I had a daughter. It's pretty cool. I also, during the time while my eyes were on fire, because, you got to take care of the baby, I found the time to really construct what I want my theater room to look like. So that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I came back and, hooking and jabbing, back at it, looking for the future leader of the Marines, which could potentially be you. Now, if you're looking for information on basic pay scale and how that all works, I won't say it over the air because those things change on a year-to-year basis. I think the best way to do it is for you just to get in contact with us, which is below. Below, if you want to get in contact with us and you want to talk more numbers and all that, we can do that. All the benefits, and I'm not saying it to downgrade anything. I'm saying it that I don't want to put it out there because this video might last, which is why I'm only hitting on tangible or intangible things. The tangible stuff will change. The intangible, leadership, your test of fortitude, your ability to pick up what I'm putting down, them things right there don't really change. All right, so active. I have had, when I first enlisted, I knew I wanted to get out of town. I wanted to see something. I got out of town. I went to San Diego. That's where boot camp is. In fact, it's a little demoralizing because the airport is right next to, I'm not even kidding you, there's only a fence separating the airport from boot camp. You're basically in downtown San Diego. And after that, you go to Marine Corps Combat Training, which is in Camp Pendleton, right off the 5. After that, I was going to go to my job school, LOS, Logistics Operation Support. That's in North Carolina, Jacksonville, right next to Camp Lejeune. Camp Johnson was a pretty poppin' place. I liked being over there because, I got family members over there. I really didn't talk to them, but I got to see where my roots were somewhat planted at some point in time. And they had good barbecue. There's nothing like a good barbecue. Okay, nothing like good smoked meats. Man, let me tell you. That's one thing about being in the Marine Corps that I like so much. And GySgt Ellis, he has a video about the different places he's been and where he's got to see food. I think that's how I really equate the different places I've been is by the food. Now, I look, I'm be honest with you, ladies, fellas, the barbecue here ain't popping. The barbecue ain't here. The barbecue here in the Pacific Northwest ain't popping. I've been to some shacks, y'all. I've been to some shacks right off the streets in New Orleans. Man, that barbecue was fire. I've been to some joints over in North Carolina. Oh my God. Oh, Texas. Let me talk about Texas, man. Yo, Texas hot. But man, they can smoke some meats. Yeah, so I am very much invested into smoking a pork shoulder, some ribs. If I had to pick between pork or beef, it's always beef. Salt and pepper, that's all you need. Salt and pepper, you get good wood, good heat. Man, you can't go wrong with that. I think sometimes I put a little bit of garlic on it. I like putting butter on it sometimes. That right there is fire. Now, I haven't traveled, and tasted barbecue. I think that's a luxury that I've had because there's a lot of different bases in different locations. America is big. So in Texas, they had a base there. I visited that base. And then I went looking for barbecue joints. Hey, New Orleans, there is another base over there that we got. I went over there to that base, and in the middle of New Orleans, barbecue was lit. North Carolina, that's where the second division is. So that place is popping, but barbecues everywhere. So having the ability to travel, that was pretty cool. I don't think I would have been able to do that if I was part of the reserves. I don't think I would have done it to the capacity that I did it without being part of the reserves. Because having been part of the reserves and seeing what they do, you do get to travel. But I got to travel more frequently because I've been in for 17 years, first off. I've been in for 17 years. So my opportunity to have traveled is far greater than someone else who's only been in the Marine Corps for 4 years on active duty side. But the reserves, annual training, they go somewhere. They definitely go somewhere. And the thing is if you are in a reserves and you decide that you want to serve longer, there's so many different things that you can do to get activated and stay active. You can get like, it's like getting contracted, so to speak. You can stay activated for quite some time. You get all the cool benefits, and I won't mention all of them because it's going to change next year. That's the way it works with pay. That's the way it works with medical and dental. But yeah, having that covered is pretty. It's a luxury. Now that I have a daughter, I really do have a better understanding of this insurance thing. And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing not having to necessarily worry about all that. That's one less thing I can worry about or have to worry about. That's a blessing. Now, getting more into the reserves, what sort of jobs might there be? There's so many different jobs. However, it's I would say for this area, it's more of an engineer heavy place, for individuals looking into different jobs that the reserves have. I'm telling you, there's a lot of different jobs out there, but just for the specific area of Portland, or we'll say Oregon, our jobs here are engineer based. Good thing about being in my field, which is Motor T, the best job in the world. I say that I'm biased, man. Best job in the world. 3,500 community. Every unit needs one. Every unit needs Motor T, so I can pretty much go anywhere. As a reservist, you can pretty much go anywhere as long as there's a spot there for you. Now, if you are in a Washington area, there's spots out there with artillery units. You can pull the lanyard, see big things go boom with the M777s. In Alaska, they got military police heavy out there. Yeah, so if you want to be part of the military police and you want to and you're in Alaska, that you got to hit my recruiters up. And in fact, I'll put their link right below. If you're interested, you're in the Alaska area, you want to look into the reserves, right down below. I highly suggest you look that up. If you are in the Eugene area, maybe even like far down as Medford, you have Springfield. There's a spot over there. Again, engineers, Motor T. That's where it's at. That's because I'm Motor T. But yeah, if you build it, they will come. That's how I look at it when it comes to jobs in the military. If you want a job in the military, I'm pretty sure between the program specialist, myself, or any of the respective recruiters, will find you that job that you're looking for. Mind you, again, you have to be qualified for it, and according to the specific time that you're leaving for boot camp, the availability. So all that has to kind of align for you to leave with that job that you want. So yeah, looking into that is something that you can definitely invest some time looking into the different jobs. But if you really want to get specific with it, I highly suggest you just dial that phone. You can hit up Marine 1-800-Marines. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. You can Google Marines. I'm pretty sure that'll pop up. Or you can just click on one of the many links below that help get you the information that you're looking for. So yeah, I don't have too much to say. I just want to get on here, give you some ones and twos about the active, more importantly, the reserves. If you are in the area and you want to stay in your area, but you want to serve, you want to build a more robust, resume, look us up. I got to answer this phone. I got to go, but it's been lovely chatting with y'all.